r/AskReddit. What stereotype do you believe to be true? Middle Eastern exchange students ducking love cars. Cars are basically the only thing with sexy curves they are allowed to look at. An ex-New Yorker will brag about being from New York within 3 minutes of meeting someone. Interestingly, there seems to be an inverse relationship between how much time they lived in New York versus how much bragging they do. Born and raised there, they might mention it once in a conversation. Only spent 2 years there, in a dorm no less. Mention it constantly. Germans are straightforward. Efficiency is key with the Germans. People who work in craft or fabric stores have a completely different sense of urgency from the rest of the world. All of them. It's like they don't even realize there's a whole nother fast-paced world outside their doors. One register open in the entire freaking store. Even if there is a huge line. Nope, still only keeping one register. Germans, Belgians drive ducking faster everywhere, but they are still good drivers. I've only been at Autobahn once. It was during the middle of the night and sometimes it would take a while before we even saw another car. Of course, we were pushing 200 km/h as one tends to do in these situations when lights were closing in behind us. Fast. Suddenly a Mercedes passed us at enormously high speed. It was either a SLK or CLS or something close to that. And just as soon as it appeared it started to vanish in front of us. The last thing I could make out was that it was using its blinkers while getting into the rightmost lane even though we're driving on empty freeway. Guys named Matt always know and regularly hang out with at least 3 other Matts. Source: Matt. Edit. Also stick 3 random Matts in a room with 100 other people. They'll find each other. South Asian people will haggle over the price of anything, even if it's set by head office in another country. I used to do contractor work, and without exception, Indian people would argue over the price to the point that I didn't want to work with them anymore. I would always give them a quote, thinking they can't all be like that. This guy isn't going to try and rip me off, I think it is just their culture. But damn, I couldn't stand arguing over a quote when what I was offering was a better deal than anyone else. Made me want to quote a crazy high price just so I could work down to the normal rate. Ain't nobody got time for that. Indians are always running late. I have found as an avid golfer, Asians look great in any golf attire. It's unbelievable. The super strict Asian parents forcing children to only study and learn an instrument that is either violin or piano. I'll have you know that I know piano and cello. Thank you very much. As an Irishman, we all do indeed love alcohol and spuds. If you're old, you're a terrible driver. Germans really do wake up at 5 AM and go place a towel on beach or pool chair and then go back to sleep, then arrive at the chair around 3 PM with sandals and socks on. White guys with dreadlocks smoke weed, play hacky sack, and own cats. Asian tourists take pictures of everything. That Australians use swear words a lot. I got to listen to myself talking recently and holy duck, every second word was duck or dunt. Duck an oath. Long-haired white guys have to play guitar. Edit. String instruments in general. Edit 2. Yes, that counts. Black people cross the road incredibly slowly in urban areas, with no regard for traffic. I'm an ambulance driver in North Philly. This shit is truth, son. I worked at Starbucks for 6 years and could generally predict what you were going to order by your race. Indians equals chai latte, Asians equals white chocolate mocha, black people equals strawberries and creme frappuccino. Edit. My opinion on white people drinks equals whatever's in season or something super complicated. I agree with the ones who say white people order for effect and not preference. Mexicans are either the hardest workers you'll ever meet, or the laziest welfare-sucking people in the planet. Source: I'm Texan, and 90% of the Mexicans I know can outwork anyone. White people love cheese. I'm white and I love cheese. I didn't know this was a stereotype and I like cheese on everything. Persians and Armenians almost always drive luxury cars, often with a salvage title, but live in small apartments or slummy houses. Black people have a variety of hilarious, irrational fears. I'm black. I love dogs, blenders, and I'm not fazed by spiders. Went mountain biking once. Nah son. Felt like the trees were trying to grab at me. I've never met a Chad that wasn't kind of a prick. Thinking back, all the Chadettes I've ever known were total dongheads. We Asians have good skin, don't grow a lot of body hair, and generally look younger than we are. We have overbearing parents who wanted us to become ordained doctors and lawyers at some point, and anything below a B means you're borderline stupid. A for average, B for borderline, C for search a new family you little shit. Korean exchange students will only talk and associate with other Korean exchange students. This is also true for Koreans you went to high school with and then attend a very Korean university with. You pretty much no longer exist to them, even if they live with you. Black people can't swim. I know lots of black people and not a single one of them is capable of swimming. I always thought this was an unfair stereotype. Then I joined the Navy. In boot camp we had to qualify for swimming and everyone who basically couldn't make it on the first try had to go sit on these bleachers and be signed up for remedial swim class. The bleachers were always filled with black guys. I'm guessing this is mostly because a lot of them grew up in urban environments and never had the chance to learn to swim. My white friend in the Navy from Philly couldn't swim for shit. We always joke about how black he is. I didn't realize how ridiculously patriotic Americans seem to be until I visited. Like buses and billboards straight out of r/Murica all over the place. There was one anti-STD billboard about the STD rates in America and it had the Statue of Liberty over an American flag with some lightning. Like it was an achievement. Indian people are all cheap and haggle for everything. It doesn't matter if it's on sale or not. Can I get some more discounts on this? Friend, I shop here all the time. While visiting the Louvre, I noticed that I could just distinguish the hushed voices of several French, British, German, and Japanese tourists. Then, all of a sudden, from across the room I hear a blaringly familiar accent booming over the rest of the crowd. God bless Murica. Native Americans have bad luck. Stupid people breed more stupid people at higher rates than non-stupid people. Politicians are sociopaths. Germans are reliable but incredibly difficult to be around. Difficult to be around in what way? They're in Germany and I'm not. A wart instantly grows on their nose. The wart sprouts hair. They drop to 4 feet tall and throw on a dress with sweater and a headscarf. Same thing happens to Asian ladies when they hit 60, but they wear sun visors instead of headscarves. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.